That felt great to say because that's the first time I've ever talked about it publicly.
For 6 years, you've been building this internal tool. Basically been the key to how you've decided thumbnails, titles, formats, ideas. Why are you giving away all your secrets now?
These are like really good, and it would be kind of cool if other people could use them.
What's the biggest brand deal you've said no to?
I don't usually talk about this stuff publicly, but
I analyzed your past 50 videos. Can I put you on the hot seat to do a live experiment?
woo, I'll spend $120 million on content this year, buying private islands. We're building a city. I just want to be the most subscribed to channel.
I found your secret Instagram.
I have never had anyone ask me that. It's like someone stabbed me, and then I'm just like, take the knife out. I hate this video.
How's your mental health?
You're very good at what you do.
Jimmy, thanks so much for having me in Greenville, man. I'm so excited to be here.
I know. This is going to be awesome. It's your first time, right?
This is my first time. Yeah.
I know. I want to, we're in our second studio. After this, I want to take him to my main studio so we can see it. So yeah, the cool stuff hasn't even happened yet.
Well, dude, I feel like, this is the first time you're showing this studio publicly, which is your thumbnail studio. So
Yeah.
I had to open up by asking, where the heck are we? And what do you film here?
Yeah, so to be specific, you're in a church. So when I first started, there's just no warehouses or studios in Greenville, North Carolina. Yeah. So there are a lot of churches, though. We're in the Bible Belt. Yeah. So I bought a church, and then we converted it by just like, basically taking all the pews out and just converted it into a studio. And so that's where we started filming. But the problem is, it's not that big. So eventually we had to move, as our videos got bigger, over to a new studio we built. And so we just converted this into the thumbnail place. And so this is one of like our 4 thumbnail rooms.
Yeah, it's insane. I've been spending time with the thumbnail team. And I know when you called me, you have some exciting news to share, which we'll get into in a bit here. But I have to ask a few more questions because when I was here and they're doing thumbnail shoots, everything was so precise. And like I have like this visual, which is 40 variations of thumbnails.
Are you going to throw it up on the screen?
Well, of course, man. Yeah,
okay. I mean, one time me and Colin and Samir did this, and they didn't throw it up on the screen.
No,
I was like, what is he looking at?
I already got my team. We have this as previs, so our editors are already putting it up. But yeah.
Colin and Samir, get one up. Kidding.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about how you shoot thumbnails here, because I heard that you come in here for about an hour a month and then you get a year's worth of thumbnails.
So if it's like me laying in sand here, we might potentially lay a bunch of sand on the ground and then put a up high camera and film me just laying in the sand. If I had to like actually go to the place to shoot them all, I'd be shooting thumbnails like 5 hours every single day. Yeah. So it's like nice to be able to lay on the beach in a desert island without having to go there.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so dude, I know when we were chatting on the phone, you mentioned for 6 years, you've been building this internal tool.
Yeah.
And it's basically been the key to how you've decided thumbnails, like you found like outlier videos. And it's a lot of data that not even YouTube has in YouTube Studio, which having worked there before just blew my mind that you were able to build this. And I have a lot of questions about that.
Yes.
But tell me about the tool and why are you giving away all your secrets now?
Yeah, as you can tell if you look at our channel, like obviously we're very analytically optimized, and over the years I've just built a lot of tools. And a little while ago we were just looking at all the tools and I was like, man, these are like really good. And it would be kind of cool if other people could use them, especially smaller creators. And so that's why we started viewstats.com, because I felt like all these public websites where you could see YouTubers' data just wasn't even good. Like there's no other website where you can see whether someone's views come from longs or shorts. No other websites allow you to track actual video by video performance to see what a video is out of 10 on other people's channels. So that's what we were building, like kind of our own version of Social Blade. But then I realized like, well, I have all these other tools I've been building for our channel, and like, well, maybe they might also find those valuable. But yeah, it was pretty scary because these things are, as you've used, they're pretty insane. And so the problem though is like these things require a lot of data, and we have a giant team to like turn them into something on the website that's actually usable, which is why it's on ViewStats Pro, because it's like just to convert our tools into something people could actually use costs over $2 million. And then we're building, we have a roadmap with like a dozen other tools we want to roll out over time. So that's why ViewStats is a free site, but what we're talking about is ViewStats Pro. I just want to make sure it makes sense to them because people might be a little confused. But yeah, it's basically, I just tried to, for as cheap as possible, take everything I use on my channel and just give it to small creators so they can use it to get an advantage. Also, that felt great to say because that's the first time I've ever talked about it publicly.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why I was trying to make sure everyone understands it, because they're going to be like, what's viewstats.com? What's viewstats? What does this mean? Because I've literally never talked about it. I've never even tweeted about it.
Yeah. And even the free tool is great. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff that will be valuable regardless. But I want to talk about that ideation process.
Oh, yes.
I thought it was so interesting how you've studied outliers, and I want
Yes.
to talk about that video, the dollar versus series, and
Yes.
talk about the inspiration, because I don't think people realize how you came to that. And then I got a ton of follow-ups with that.
Yeah, 100%. So for the $1 versus, the thing is, we've all seen BuzzFeed did it, but also not only did BuzzFeed, but it's just like people across every format on YouTube, beauty channels, gaming channels, everyone was doing videos where they'd compare something cheap to something expensive. And they usually did well. And what I like to do is if I see something going viral across like multiple, formats all across YouTube, then it's like, okay, that seems to be something people really like. And, they're really interested in that content. So maybe I should just do that like in a really beast way on the channel. So like if a beauty channel does $1 versus $100 makeup palette and that pops off, and then someone does $1 versus $100 sushi and that pops off, and a video gamer does $1 or $100 computer versus a $10,000 computer, then it's like, okay, people seem to like this. I'm gonna do a $1 hotel versus $1 million hotel, and it works. Yeah.
I saw that outlier from BuzzFeed's channel was a plus 50x.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you can see like was a crazy outperformance.
It's essentially when I tried to think of like how, because ViewStats probably built it where we can help small creators just do better. And when I try to think of like one of the most, can't think of another word than OP. It means overpowered if you're not a gamer. Sometimes I say that and people like look at me weird. Tools is like to help you brainstorm ideas, because I think that's one of our bread and butters. And one of the best ways to brainstorm tools, I thought, would be to give you access to outliers, which is like you said, it's essentially like if videos do, it basically shows you every video on YouTube that performs multiples better than the average on that channel. So like if a person's getting 1 million views a video and then they upload a video and it gets 5 million views, well, why did that video do 5 times better? And like we just give you a collection of videos like that performed really well, so you can brainstorm based off of it. So hopefully you can also have outliers.
Yeah. How many of your videos would you say are from outliers that, this tool has been internal for 6 years now?
Based off of outliers, because the thing is like, honestly, one of my earliest ideas was like buying a car with pennies, and but this is maybe even before we started like tracking data, and I just saw someone bought Gucci with pennies, and I was like, oh, that seemed to work. Let me go buy a car with pennies. So honestly, throughout the last 6 years, it's been a big just way for me to brainstorm. But it's hard though, because I don't want people to don't like see an outlier and just do the exact video. You always have to take it and ideally put a spin on it, a twist on it, do it your own way. Because if you just recreate what's already there, well, it's already popped off. Like it's not going to work. But if you use it as inspiration, which is what I want to get across, and then you creatively come up with your own version, that's where they work, right? Because a lot of almost everything we've done has never been done before. But yes, for the ideas, this is just one of many ways to get like inspired to come up with the idea.
Yeah. I think outlier search is going to open the floodgates. And I actually have a little spectrum that I created, because I was thinking about it too. Like, what is the difference between like copying and pasting and plagiarism, which is not good, and remixing and elevating?
Yes.
And I think it's the difference between copy with taste versus copy and paste. And I think copy with taste, which you do such a good job of, is like elevating the past, giving credit, and then blending from different sources.
Yeah.
Versus a lot of people copy and paste. It's like they're just
If you
recreating
watch
it.
someone's video and you can't tell the difference between their video and my video besides the budget, then it's like, you're copy and paste. But but like, me and Ryan might sometimes do similar videos. I'd not even say he's copy, but like Ryan and I could, like, I will go visit hotel rooms, $1 versus Ryan will go visit scary Airbnbs, and it doesn't feel the same, right? That's like, and that's the thing. Like Ryan has his own voice. He's quirky, and he's just like, let scenes breathe more and blah blah. And that's like Ryan's style. And then our style is like a little bit quicker and just show you cool things and spending more money and making it epic. And so that's not that he's copying us, but in general, that would be like doing it with taste. And then the copy and paste is, there are tons of other people who after our hotel video just went literally sometimes hit the same hotels, same thing, use my same text on screen, speak like me, act like me, use my cuts, use the same timing, pacing. And it's like, be more like Ryan, invent your own style. We need more people like that. We need less people that just look at Ryan, look at me and other big creators and just, literally copy and paste. Like, if people wanted to watch my style video, they'll just watch my video. That we don't need someone else doing my videos with lower budget and less effort. It's like we need people doing their own version of it with their own unique spin and taste.
Yeah. I think it's also interesting. Another way to find outliers is from your past work or other channels.
Yes.
So I was talking with Chucky, who you co-founded ViewStats with, and I thought it was fascinating that actually one of the origins for the ages 1 through 100 decide who gets $250,000 came from a gaming video that you made, which had virtually zero budget, but Can you talk about how you look for outliers on your past videos?
100%. So I was like, we need to do this again. And I didn't like the title and thumbnail on this gaming video, but I loved the content. It was one of my favorite gaming videos. So I was like, let's bring back the style, the content, and then just reinvent the title and thumbnail where hopefully people click on it. And yeah, it worked really well. So in that case, yeah, I got we doubled down on the content because it's not always clickbait, obviously.
And I also looked at your MrBeast Reacts channel, which I know you're not making content there, but there's still a ton of people who make Reacts content across YouTube.
That's probably where Outliers is the best, right?
Yeah,
The inspiration.
Talk to me about these two videos, because I found the original Outliers, and then I saw like how you reacted to them, and obviously there's a lot of work that goes into Elevate It and copy with taste, but like how did you think about those videos?
Exactly. I mean, it's essentially we would just react. We try to react to the most viral stuff because obviously if it went viral, then people like it. You know what I mean? And like in this instance, it might not be as analytical as it seems. I mean, so the video we reacted to is I strapped a GoPro on a fish. I mean, you don't need data to tell you that's fucking cool. I mean, they put a GoPro on a fish, and it's also like we have to make good content. So it has to be things me and Chris were interested in, and so you know that's checks the box. Chris and Jimmy would like make good content reacting to it. It's cool. And then, it's also an outlier that would perform. Same thing with the watermelon, like the world's fastest cutting of a watermelon. Like, that's just very interesting. So, because I don't want people to get so analytical that they forget about content. Because it's a yin and a yang. Because one of the biggest things also people forget, too, is, like, whether or not people click on your video, a huge factor is their experience with your last video. And so if they've watched 5 of your videos and they didn't enjoy it, it doesn't matter what your title and thumbnail is. They're going to see a Ryan Trahan or a Mark Rober video and your video, and they'll be like, the last 5 times I clicked on your video, the last 5 times I clicked on Ryan, I enjoyed it. I laughed. I had a good time. It was a vibe. They're going to click on Ryan. Get fucked, you know? And so that's where it's like you have to, I would say it's like focus, like in the pendulum, focus more on content than you do clickbait, but don't ever let it swing too far because it still does matter, if that makes sense.
Check this out. Jimmy signed 3 of his Time Magazine covers that are going to be giving away to you if you subscribe and ring the notification bell. And plus, you're not going to want to miss the other 2 videos that we filmed with Jimmy while we were here. The next video is going to be a full breakdown of one of his best videos and why he made certain decisions in the edit and filming. He pointed out things I've never seen him talk about before. And then we're going to take you behind the scenes of his shoots, how he shoots shorts, his main channel videos, and just behind the scenes with his meetings. I cannot believe some of the access that he gave us. So subscribe, ring the notification bell, and 3 of you, I'll make sure to ship this out and announce the winner soon. All right, back to the video. I analyzed your past 50 videos, Jimmy, and I noticed that they fall into 9 different categories. There's so many things I want to get into. I wanted to share this with you. So these are your different thumbnails broken down into series.
So over on the left, he has our Protect series where, you know, we did Protect $500,000, keep it. I thought that was a pretty good video. And after we filmed it, I was like, I like this. Like, we should double down on it and do 2 more. And then as we doubled down on it, I was like, oh, this is kind of repetitive. And people, honestly, I would say that's like the biggest flop of a series we've done in a while. People just didn't really, you know, they're like, it's good, but they didn't care that much. And so that's dead. Like, and if you look here, you'll see like most of these go more than 3. That one, I was like, all right, we're done. I don't like it. And so, you know, not every time you hit, but so that's probably like the worst format series, whatever you want to call it, we've had. The best is the $1 versus. That crushed. I think in like the last 365 days, I think Plane Ticket is like the most viewed video on all of YouTube. That's not an ad or something close like that. And so for the $1 versus, I have the opposite problem. I think we might have stopped at like 1 video too early. We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holy crap! Yeah, we did 8 of them, but they were really spread out over a year. People really liked it. Like, and it's something anyone can, you know, understand. Whether you're 10 or you're 50, watching us drive a $1 car all the way up to $100 million car is just sick. You know what I mean? And that was also a lot of fun. So yeah, I try to end like, because like if you do a series long enough, it's like exciting, then it's not really exciting, and then if you keep doing it, it becomes kind of lame and people churn out. I try to kind of stop like here before it loses excitement. So I try to stop series early before people have to tell me to stop them. I like to, you know, because if not, then you just become known for that. So I like to always keep things fresh and keep changing it up. I think that though is one of the few ones where I kind of wish I did 1 or 2 more, because that was like, it's crazy. I mean, these are averaging like 250, 300 million views, every single one of them. And the retentions are great. People love them. So, whoops. Yeah, the tournament ones, people love those. And, you know, we just had our first 40-minute video, which that was a fun test. That video is doing really well. And the beauty of tournament, which one thing I'm really trying to get better at is storytelling. And it's kind of hard to storytell when it's just me and the boys. But with this, you know, we have a lot of characters in the video. And that's one thing I want to really become world class at over the next 5 years is like building characters throughout the videos. And then, do you have water?
Right here. Right here.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is water?
Yes, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so bougie.
Yeah. Well, we prepped it. We just want to keep it simple. Yeah.
I'm dying over here for some reason.
Yeah.
And so, you know, working on the storytelling, I mean, blah, blah, you kind of get the same thing with survival ones, Survive 100 Days. I mean, that's why people like it. Yes, the environment we put them in is cool, but also getting to know the contestant. And now that we've gotten better at telling the contestant's story and letting them show emotion, those videos crushed, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. The character development note is interesting because with unscripted, which is so much of content on YouTube nowadays, like what do you do in pre-production to identify those characters or try to put them in the right situations?
Yes. So yeah, you hit it on the head. The thing is, unscripted shows like ours, that's where character development is hard. And people don't understand because people always, you know, well, so like years ago, I was just god awful at it. And you know, if you ever told me I was bad at storytelling, you were correct. And I'm glad everyone beat me on the head and be like, tell better stories. Now the past year, we've been really trying. You know, somebody who's like ages 1 through 100, we hit it. I mean, if you look at the TikTok clips on it, people loved it. People loved, you know, 42, 58. It was awesome. And then other videos, you know, we're still improving and getting better. Like the Protect series. I feel like we didn't dive deep enough in the characters. Do you even know the name of the guy from the newest video?
No, not from
Exactly. So we didn't, you know, so that, which is something I'm working on. The thing is, you know, everything I've ever done is on YouTube. So it's not like I'm some filmmaker with 30 years of experience bringing it over. I'm learning in real time. So like, I want to be a great storyteller, but like, you know, you have to fail a bunch and just, you know, my failures are watched by a lot of people. So I'm learning in real time in front of everyone. But what did you ask again, though?
Like, how do you develop the characters? Because that
yes,
that video
exactly.
specifically.
Yeah, so for these kinds of videos, you can't, right? You can't script them. And so that video, ages 1 through 100, or 40-minute video, had more cameras recording than any other production in history. Right? I think I tweeted that.
Yeah.
There's never, you can't find a movie or show or anything that's ever had 300 cameras simultaneously recording like that. And so that's the thing. We had, you know, there's 100 cubes. So we put a cam, a main cam in the cube, and then we put like one they can talk to, or so a wide shot, and then a shot on them. So that's 200 cameras. And then we had all the wide shots all around the studio and all the cameras we were recording with. And so the answer is you just film everything, you know, and but it's brutal. And most people can't do that because it's like, I mean, I think we had like petabytes worth of footage. I mean, it would have taken a single human like 5 lifetimes to watch all the footage we had. And so, but that's where, you know, for these bigger videos, we'll have like 50 or 60 editors ready to like chop down the footage. We'll have like 3 or 4 story time editors that are just like listening to everything and just writing down notes to make the editors' lives easier. And then we just go, the crazy part is though, right? If you, for that video, like I don't usually talk about this stuff publicly, but like you're asking how do we prepare to get a better story? A lot of it's in the tech, because to record 300 cameras for days, you need like, to even house that much footage, you need a giant server. So in our other studio, I'll show you when we go over there, we have a multi-million-dollar server rack and everything that our editors can remote into to actually edit the footage. Because if you tried to put all the footage for that video on hard drives and ship it to one editor, it would cost like $70,000. So like if I were to try to give 50 editors all the footage on that video to edit it down, I mean, it would literally be millions of dollars in just hard drives just to get it to them. And it would take forever to copy all the footage and everything. I mean, it'd be impossible. It'd take you a full year to edit that video, whereas we edit and upload in a month, right, or less. And so for that, we also have to build out a server room that everyone can remote into, edit off of one central place. So then all the footage is there, and I don't have to spend $4 million shipping hard drives out just for one single video. Wow. And so it's a lot of that stuff, which other people don't do, so they're not able to actually record that many cameras. And that's where the hard part is. If you don't have that kind of coverage, then you do have to be a little more scripted, because, you know, a normal person, our production company, or someone who doesn't, you know, take it as seriously as we do, they would just be like, all right, this 24-hour period, we're going to film in this 1 hour window. We're going to roll with these 10 cameras. You're going to say this. You're going to say that. You're going to say this. This is your character, and you're going to do this. And then they'd be like, cool, we got all the shots. You know, we'll see you in 23 hours for the next challenge. Whereas for us, it's just like, all right, over the next 24 hours, do what you want. We're capturing it all. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of the difference. And no one shoots these kinds of shows like we do.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I've never thought about the coverage. And for people who don't know, coverage being getting all the footage and all the angles.
Yeah.
In a way that traditional TV and reality doesn't.
That's like half of well, that's like the most brutal part of what we do is
Yeah.
like managing the footage and like getting it where it's actually a video. I mean, we're literally sometimes chopping down it's crazy, like hundreds of years worth of footage down into a 20-minute video.
Yeah. Thumbnails. I wanted to talk about that because I think you guys are laying the blueprint about how to use ABC
Yeah.
testing thumbnails. I wanted to pull the
ABC testing. I've always heard it called A/B testing.
I know, but I've called it that before.
But I guess because three options.
It's
yeah.
more accurate. It's more
Yeah,
accurate.
it is.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I say that for this because I pulled the 2 tests that you did for your recent Protect the Yacht video.
Yeah, I wish it was any video besides the Protect the Yacht video. I hate this video in hindsight. Yeah, I mean, I would say this is one of our worst thumbnails, to be honest. Which it's my fault. It's not like the team's fault or anything like that. I'd say the A option you're looking at, like I'm not in it. I'm in every thumbnail. What was that? Obviously, it didn't win. So we tested those 3 at the top. The middle B one is the one that won, which clearly, I mean, the C one just doesn't really make any sense. Even the B one, I'm not the biggest fan of. We kind of we sketched it out before we filmed the video, and I was like, this is good. But sometimes, which I've learned, when you sketch a thumbnail and then you actually bring it to life, and it just doesn't look real. And that's one of the ones that looked good in a sketch, and I was like, yes. And then when we actually made it, I was like, no, frick. And we couldn't figure out another option. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, we obviously A/B tested 3 formats, and we found the one that worked, and then we tested a couple of different boats, but, I hate that video.
But still, I think that's interesting that it's like big variations are the first test, and then when you have a winner, take that variation and make small detail tweaks.
Exactly, and test, and then wait a month and test a couple more and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I pulled maybe a more relatable example from Ryan.
Ryan. He's been killing it with these.
Yeah, so he's done big changes with scenery, and then the test 2 are text changes.
Yeah, that one's good. Agreed. I've noticed these as well. I was actually. My girlfriend, when we watched this video, and then it was on our homepage the next day, and she literally said, like, is that what it said before the thumbnail? Because it popped in the top left and said continue watching. So even people notice. I agree. I think this is a realistic way of doing it. 3 options, test some text, and then just leave it be. Don't overwhelm yourself. Don't overthink it. Because there's a lot of diminishing returns, and there's a point where it makes sense to just start working on your next video if you don't have the resources and a bunch of people helping you. And it's you do have to question okay, well, if I just started putting my brain and effort into the next video, would I get more upside than just this kind of stuff? But yeah, that he did good there.
Yeah. Can I put you on the hot seat to do a live experiment?
Okay, I'm on the hot seat.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
If we could get the laptop, I want to see you do this live.
Okay.
And one of the features that really blew my mind when you gave me access to ViewStats Pro is searching for thumbnails with text and then going down the rabbit hole of inspiration.
It's freaking insane. So, it took a long time to build.
Jimmy, I'm going to give you a prompt that I want you to type in, and then I want to go down a rabbit hole and just hear your thoughts. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so basketball with holes in it.
Basketball with holes.
Yeah, there's this new airless basketball that's going around. Everyone's
I've
talking
seen it.
about it.
And so before I hit enter, this is on ViewStats Pro. This is our thumbnail search tool. You can type anything you want in, and it'll give you thumbnails to get inspired off of. It's really sick. So he just said basketball with holes in it. So I'm going to hit enter. Give it a second. Look how quick that loaded. This thing is fast. And so now we can scroll through this, and we can see all these thumbnails on YouTube that have basketballs with holes in it. And this is exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
The whatever.
The airless basketball. Yeah.
And so are we trying to brainstorm what's the title of the video we're trying to brainstorm?
Let's say that the NBA just sent us this basketball to try out. We're a channel that's reviewing sports gear.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so then in the basketball they sent has holes in it.
Yeah.
So then you would just look at all these, and the cool part is we didn't just stop here. So you can obviously see all the thumbnails, inspiration, but you can also search by thumbnail, and it'll give you even more specific thumbnails on the thumbnails you like, which you just kind of got to use this. I know this might seem insane, but it works really well. And so I don't know. You want to pick this LaMelo one?
Let's maybe this one
the Steph Curry one.
Yeah.
All right. So we want to get inspired by more thumbnails, and boom. So now it's giving you specifically the thumbnails that look similar. As you can see, all the other ones that had the white balls in it pop up here. And then we can, let's get inspired off this. So it'll probably be pretty similar results. And then if you scroll down, maybe we're like, oh, actually, this looks crazy. There's slime on his hand, you know, or basketball hitting a car. You just flip through it, get tons of inspiration, and then keep doubling down.
Let's go through something totally different. Go to maybe the basketball hitting the car.
Basketball hitting the one from Jesser.
Yeah, no. Yeah, the one from Jesser.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah. Let's see what that.
Funniest basketball hitting cars. So now, see, he's going to give you crazy ones. So like this world's largest basketball over the car, because obviously it picked up that you're not, expecting it to be slamming a car. It's just trying to give you cool inspiration. We can do this one with the dart in it. And then you just keep flipping through here. Look, now here's a bunch of different versions of the dart. And you just keep tapping search by thumbnail, and you can just go and go and go and just get inspired. What's another prompt you have?
Let's just try slime.
Slime? Yeah. Okay. So let's try slime. What thumbnails are we getting? Look at that. And then
let's combine what we were talking about before. Filter this thumbnail search by outlier score.
Oh, let's have some fun. So this video, and then obviously over time we're gonna build it out where you can set it where only videos above 100,000 views, like we do on our outlier tool. We'll bring it over here. But so this video right here did 100x the average. How to make 1 minute glossy slime. Let me scroll down. Minecraft item slime. That one's cool. So this would be if you're looking at it and you're like, oh, I want to see more Minecraft thumbnails. I bet if we hit search by thumbnail, it'd pull up a bunch of Minecraft ones, which is cool because it allows you to go down the rabbit hole. Because especially if you're making a video on slime, you might want to get inspired by Minecraft slime or whatever. And then obviously you can just go back. So these are the #1 outliers with Minecraft slime in it. Man, what is one of your coming up videos?
One of my coming out videos?
Yeah.
I just went to Toronto to interview the hacksmith, and he showed me the world's first working lightsaber. So maybe type
he
in
also
lightsaber.
showed me the world's first.
Yeah,
working
he
lightsaber.
used it for one of your videos.
Wait, is it the same one?
He's working on a new one. He's actually spent hundreds of $1,000s on a clean room to develop like one without a cord. And just the title I'm thinking about, because he's like a real life Iron Man, we're thinking about calling it 24 Hours with YouTube's Iron Man, $5.5 million.
Is the thumbnail going to be an Iron Man suit?
It's going to be him. He actually had an Iron Man mask, and we had him take photos with it. And then he had a Thor hammer, so it's going to be a lot of those visuals, or at least
yeah. So then you can type in Iron Man, get inspiration from videos that did well. I mean, honestly, if you had him flying kind of like this, that'd be cool. I mean, could the suit fly? Could you have him put it on and jump on a trampoline in the video and then him fly? Or like maybe this scene. I mean, if I'm thinking about it, like this right here would get the most views. If it was him flying in an Iron Man suit, like that would pop off.
Yeah, and maybe the campus right below.
Yeah,
because that.
But
would
I don't
show
know
his
for
tour.
your channel, but for my channel, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've had that idea, and we have a thumbnail mock somewhere where it's like getting a working Iron Man suit, and it's just someone flying, and I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, but it's so cool to like get inspiration that way. I want to give you another prompt because you could search with words, but you could also search with an image.
Yep.
Maybe you find it from another thumbnail, or here's what I want you to do. We downloaded an image from Google. It's on your desktop right now of a golden car.
So I'm going to upload this golden car, and then with nothing else, they'll pull up a bunch of other golden cars, which is pretty crazy. Because then you can also sort it by outliers. You can sort it by default, view count, new. So we can click on this golden car, and then we can be like, ooh, like that one. You can see Supercar Blondie did a thumbnail with the golden car in it, etc. And you can just get inspired.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other, while we have it, any other you want to outlier like demo or like alerts? Like
while we have view stats up, I mean, I'll show you guys. So at the launch, we have 5 tools. That was thumbnail search. We've kind of loosely talked about the other ones. A/B test. I think you will find pretty interesting. You can see all the A/B thumbnail tests anyone is doing, and you can see which one won. So you can see all the A/B thumbnail tests currently running on YouTube. You could here. Let me search our boy Ryan. By channel. So you can hit by channel, and we were talking about Ryan's thumbnail earlier. We have these little tabs too, so it recommends whatever you're typing in, which is sick. We went all out on this. So now you can pull up Ryan Trine's channel, and you can see every A/B thumbnail test he's ever ran.
Wow.
And you can see which thumbnail won. Isn't that crazy?
It's crazy.
The other one I think you guys would love to hear about right now is outliers, which is something we've been doing for years. But it's like we talked about before. You can find basically any video that goes viral on any channel, and you can just set it where show us a video on channels that have over 100,000 subscribers that got 50x on a view, 50x their normal views on a video, and you can browse through it and you can see it all. I don't want to show you guys too much. If you want to use it, just go to ViewStats Pro. Here, take this laptop. They're gonna get too much out of this, but you get it. Basically, anything you could want to increase your views, our goal is to put it on there. We currently have those 5 epic tools. We got a roadmap with another dozen. We're gonna try to roll out one every 2 months, or even more frequent. But I don't want to commit to anything crazy. And I mean, a year or two from now, I just hope that's basically like what creators use as their like studio dashboard to actually like do stuff.
I think this is a breakthrough moment to see those tools now be put in the hands of so many people.
I know, it's awesome.
I also pulled some of your old thumbnails because I went back to like 2020, 2019, and I saw you're still updating them.
Yeah.
I just wanted to embarrass you by showing these.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Like, take me through how often you update the back catalog.
that break-in one. That left thumbnail in June 2020. I made myself. Like I literally photoshopped and made it. That was such a horrible thumbnail. So a lot of the ones we're updating are just the ones I made because I'm not great with Photoshop, and now I have like people who are actually good. And so we're just kind of going through and making them make sense because like they just don't make sense. Like that one in the bottom left with all the people, like you can't even see their faces.
Yeah.
65 million subscribers. I have 4 times that. Like
Yeah.
that was
It looks like a selfie.
yeah, but it's like 60. There's 65 million subscribers combined between all the people in this video, and it's like that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy that at the time I thought that was a flex? In the bottom left of a thumbnail, I wrote 65 million subscribers. Like guys, you won't believe how many YouTubers I got in this video.
Yeah, that was.
And then now here we are, on what are we at? Like 240 or something, 250. Yeah, so it's mostly the ones I did, just making them not horrible, to be honest.
Do you see a huge change by going back?
Yes.
Or is it more of a branding play?
So it depends which ones. I see you have the plane ticket one.
Yeah.
That one was a huge change. These, it's kind of branding and just making it where it makes sense.
Yeah.
And sometimes the views go up. This right here, this bad boy. We did a bunch of A/B thumbnail tests, and the one with me sitting in just a normal seat won, and then. I don't remember how far after we uploaded, maybe like a month or two, or we were like, wait a minute, we could probably do a better thumbnail. And then we swapped it out for this split screen thumbnail, which we had never done before. But I do occasionally see on ViewStats other channels doing really good with the split screen thumbnail. So it's like, screw it, let's try it. And then we put one on plane ticket, and I mean, that thing went off. I think it got an extra like, what was it, like 30 or 40 million views because we, swapped the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So it can have big effects sometimes. And that was probably our best A/B thumbnail, or not A/B. That was probably our best like swap like months later that we've ever had. It was pretty crazy.
So I know thumbnails get a lot of love, like in the
Yeah.
YouTube community when it comes to packaging, but titles are
Yes.
just as important. I wanted to break down the title of hydraulic press versus Lamborghini, and obviously like titles and the idea and all that go hand in hand.
100%.
And can you explain this term? Interest market
Oh,
cap.
did Chucky say that to you?
Yeah, like in terms of how you determined, like, okay, let's make this video about hydraulic press versus Lamborghini, not versus Ferrari.
Yeah, 100%. So it's probably a tool we'll roll out into ViewStats Pro later in the future, but we essentially just look at all the viewership on keywords across all of YouTube, and if theoretically there's 100 billion views on videos with Lamborghini and there's 500 million views on videos with Ferrari, I'm just making up numbers, then clearly people are just more interested in Lamborghinis than Ferrari. It's just kind of objective.
Yeah.
So that's what, Chucky gets pretty crazy with his terms, interest market cap, but it's essentially just looking at all the views, titles with that word have. And then, if it's kind of same, right? If it was like 100 billion Lamborghini, 80 billion Ferrari, who cares? It's nominal. But if it's like one's like 20, 30 times better, it's usually a good indicator that like, that is something people are more interested in.
Yeah.
And there's a big discrepancy between Lamborghini and Ferrari.
Yeah. Is there any other decisions you made about ideas like that where you're like, you know what, maybe we should do hotel rooms first, not yachts for the $1 versus series? Or
no, I mean, a lot of times though, again, this is where it's hard because we like data, but it's also a lot of intuition and like you got to know your audience. And so like the data could say do hotel rooms first. But you could also be a beauty YouTuber and it just make more sense to do a makeup palette. Yeah, it might not have the most views, but like your audience doesn't care about hotels. So it's a blend of all that. So you have to really you have to look at it from a lens of like, what is my audience? What would my audience want? And then like, yes, if there's no difference, if to your audience, there's no difference between a hotel room or a vacation, yeah, hotels probably is simpler and would perform better. But, you know, if you're a family channel, they'd probably care more about vacations because they want to, you know, think of, you know, vacations they could take their kids on or that kind of stuff. Or maybe your family channel that kids just watch, right? And then maybe vacations don't matter as much because kids can't afford it. I don't know, you know. So you got to run through those scenarios. But yeah, net equal. It's like I said. Even then, if the market cap's kind of the same on the viewership, or even like this, it doesn't matter. But if it's like this, then it's like, all right, now this is when you should go with this one. More people clearly care.
Yeah.
A lot of nuances.
What else besides views and performance go into deciding which series or videos to make?
Oh yeah, I mean, views and performance matter, but ultimately we're just trying to make the audience happy, and I want to give them videos that they like. And I know, because at the end of the day, like, you know, you can get views on a video, but people can feel unsatisfied and then not click the next one and eventually churn them out. The reason why 100 million people keep coming back every video is because we constantly try to prioritize what they want and what makes them happy. And so this is where it's hard. This is the thing that I struggle the most with training people on, and which is why I do it. It's just like, you kind of just have to be really in the trenches with your community. You have to read a lot about what they say online and just talk to a lot of them, and you can kind of just tell. Like, Protect, even if they weren't underperforming, even if they were kind of
The Protect series.
Yeah, the Protect series. Even if that was like a 5 out of 10, I still wouldn't do them because I can just kind of tell people aren't like super enthusiastic about it, and I'd be like, yeah, they're not feeling it. If that makes sense.
Cost, like time, like those things don't factor in.
I mean, if you ask me, no. If you ask my team, yes. But it's a lot of like, I'll be like, I want to do this, and they'll be like, it's too expensive, and I'll be like, is it too expensive, or have you not looked into the numbers yet? And they're like, well, I'm like, all right, we'll get the exact numbers. Come on, And then, a lot of times I'm usually like, well, is it a problem if we're $1 million over budget? Come on.
Yeah.
They kind of want it.
What was the last video where you had that conversation?
Oh, almost every video. Yeah. I mean, thankfully Feastables is doing well. Cause we're still struggling on quite a few of these. I mean, if you watch them, like ages 1 through 100, I mean, that was a monster of a video. Or even the yacht video, our last video. I mean, if you saw all the 100 cannons and all the people shooting at it and the million fireworks and giving the guy a yacht and the explosions and all that kind of stuff and the construction crew, like, I don't know, that video, well, actually, that one might have been on budget. What was the video we uploaded before that? Ages 1 to 100. Yeah, No Shot Ages 1 to 100 was on budget. That was probably $1 million over budget. Do you know the video before Ages 1 to 100? Room Explodes. Yeah, and then before that was Room Explodes. That video, wow. Did you see the tower? Did they show you it?
No, not yet.
Oh my gosh, I need to show you it.
We've been into your prep page for days.
I know.
Yeah.
I have a tower, like an actual tower.
I saw the video. Yeah,
but it's still up over there in a field. Like
okay, I got to take
a real big tower. And once you see that, you're like, holy crap. Like, that one, weirdly enough, I think might have been close on budget. I don't know how. But then we have like ones like, built 100 wells. Like, obviously that one was very expensive. And we usually don't do brand deals on those kinds of videos because it feels a little weird. I might start to in the future so I could do more. But it's just like, it's kind of weird to, hey, here's well number 50. Anyways, let me tell you about blank. But if I did a brand deal, then I could build 200 wells. So it's like, that's a hard little distinction. I'm probably going to start doing brand deals on those. Anyways, you get the point.
Yeah. The 10-minute video was so interesting because it was all real time.
Yeah.
How did you think about
that? That was terrifying.
This video is completely real time. You'll notice it's exactly 10 minutes long. There are no cuts. You see everything. And if Darcy does not escape his jacket and get through all 5 floors of this tower and press that button before the timer hits 0, his money explodes.
That was very terrifying. How did we come up with the idea?
Yeah.
It's just honestly a lot. Because we don't upload that much. Like, we're uploading, 2 videos a month. Like, this year, maybe we'll do 30 videos. So I have, countless ideas I'm sitting on. And that's, one of the ideas I've just been wanting to do for a very long time. Like, what usually happens is I say I want to film something, and then we're like, we don't know how to do that. And then, 2 years later, we end up doing it. Like, that's kind of where we're at now. Protect was something I wanted to do for a very, very long time. Even Antarctica, which I think we went to a year ago. It was a running joke. For 3 years before we filmed that, I wanted to go to Antarctica. And we couldn't get there. We couldn't figure it out. It was too expensive. And then eventually we got to a place where it was like, if this is how much we can spend on a video, this is what it costs. After 3 years, we got to the point where we could actually afford it. And then we went to Antarctica, and that was sick.
What are you spending right now per short?
Oh gosh. Some of the ones we have coming up, I know we're giving away 100K in them, so I know at least off the rip it's 100K. I would say the average is probably I don't know, maybe like 30, 40 grand. It's just like they don't make money. Like I'm not making that kind of money per short, but it's kind of like I just want to make good content, so I'm not really focused on making money off of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of our shorts could, like 3 years ago, could have been a long form video. I know. It's crazy. And that's what I want. And like, we're ramping them up. They're going to get much better over time. I'm working on getting some people in to help me. And we've really been brainstorming, like, what is MrBeast on shorts? I don't think we've fully cracked the code yet, but I agree. Like the spot the hidden person one. Like we're building huge sets for those with prizes. Like not this. We have a similar building like this, or down the road, and it's like this whole building. We'll build on a giant set just for someone to like spot 5 hidden people. It's a lot of work. Yeah.
And I heard that you're about to take it up a notch because obviously the Amazon show is coming up. Is it true that you're gonna film even more main channel videos in advance?
Oh yeah.
Now, so that you can just focus on the Amazon show later? And how do you plan to do that? Okay, one of my favorite parts of the interview is coming up, and that's when Jimmy gives advice to creators who want to launch their own merch and products like he did. And he gives some unconventional advice, but if I could add one thing before we get there, it's that no matter what product you sell, the domain name you use matters a lot. And that's why I want to thank today's sponsor, .store domains. Whether it's MrBeast, Dude Perfect, or Zach King, they all use .store domains for their merch because a .store domain tells the world you're selling. I mean, it's a big reason why MrBeast actually moved from a long.com to MrBeast.store. And it's why I'm so excited to say that we're launching Created.store, where we'll have some of the best quality and most comfortable merch out there, from hoodies to sweatshirts to mugs and more. Because as creators, our name is our brand. And if you just add a .store to it, then you've got the perfect place for merch. And it just doesn't get clearer than that, nor does it get more direct. In fact, a .store domain helps you sell more, which is why websites on .store actually see up to 2x more organic visibility and up to 87% more clicks. So don't settle for a long URL and just get your .store domain before somebody else takes it. Buy your .store domain today for just 99 cents for the first year by going to go.store/John, or just click the link in the description below, or use the code JOHN, Jon, to get your .store domain today. All right, now back to the video.
Yeah, that Amazon show is I mean, obviously, our YouTube channel is a lot. The big videos, the spectacles, the multi-million-dollar budget. Sometimes we're having hundreds of people breaking world records with cameras. I mean, these are it's tough. Just doing the main channel is brutal. But yeah, this year, I wanted to take it up a notch and do our first streaming show on Amazon. And yeah, that's so basically it's probably going to be 2 months worth of like Amazon shooting, like from the time my eyes open to the time they close. Like that's all I'm gonna do. If we want this show to be as good as I want it to be, and just absolutely crush every, well, I don't want to say anything that will set me up for something in case I don't hit it. But if I want this to be just a world-class streaming show, I gotta represent the YouTube community. Like a lot of people are gonna watch our show on Amazon, and it's gonna kind of be indicative of creators. And so if it's not good, they're gonna be like, see, YouTubers can't make streaming content. That's why they stick on YouTube. They're not the same as us. There's a lot of elitist mentality over there, even in the people we're talking with to help with the show. I see it still occasionally. I'm like, oh, why can't we just make great content? Why does it have to be like why can't we just all be creators? So I really want this show to crush, so it reflects well in the YouTube community. And so yeah, we're going all out for that. But that's the problem is, I usually film almost every day. So for me to spend 60 days, or almost every day from the main channel, so for me to spend 45, 60 days on the Amazon show, yeah, basically just have to jam my schedule up to the max before and after, so I don't skip a beat on YouTube, because YouTube's my #1 priority. I don't want the YouTube channel to miss anything for this Amazon show. So, which is also why we brought on I think we're up to over 70 people now just to help with the Amazon show, independent of the main channel. Wow. Because that show's huge, man. I haven't talked about it too much. I have to think really hard on what I say because I don't want to spoil anything, especially for the contestants. But we're buying private islands. We're buying. We're building a city. We're doing things that don't make sense. Picture my biggest YouTube video ever. Like this is it. And this is like a normal episode on that show. Because I have a way bigger budget. Way, way, way more money than I normally have. And we're just going all out. Like, we're not holding back everything. One of the Amazon episodes is probably 5 times more expensive than my most expensive YouTube video. That's like
$15 million per episode.
Not per every episode. I just one of the episodes we're spending. It's crazy, but it's so all these ideas I've had sitting in my head for a very long time, I can do, right? I want to, just give away an island in an episode for this cool little thing we can do it. We want to build a city so we can blow it up. We can do it. You know, you want to do this, we can do it. It's like, it's awesome because it's like, really money is not a constraint. It's just what is, you know, phenomenal content. And then that's why at the ages 1 through 100, we've been practicing the storytelling because I don't want it just to be big budget spectacle, but I also want it to be like, you get attached to the characters and you feel the story and you're rooting for them. And so that's why I'm really trying to practice a lot on YouTube. So when we film this in a couple months, it's like if you combine the spectacle, our filmmaking, the authenticity, the budget, and we like really nail down the storytelling. I mean, that thing's going to be world class. I'm so excited. But yeah, so it's basically leading up to it, I'm filming every single day. And then afterwards every single day. So it's going to be like 6 months of like just filming every minute of the day, essentially.
to zoom into one day, what is a shoot day, or what does a day look like for you? Like, are you waking up? Like, how many videos are you shooting?
Well, here's
like,
the problem. It's so random because like we just filmed a different video that we needed it to be dark.
Yeah.
So we would start filming at like 9 p.m. and we'd finish filming at 6 a.m. So like in that case, you know, it's just different. Like, so I'm getting up at 1 p.m. and then I'm going to check on the people in the, well, no, I'd probably get up at 2 p.m. I like to get at least 8 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Anything less than 8 hours, I'm screwed. Like I need like Red Bull and I hate it. I don't like being a zombie. So if we finished at 6, I'd get home at 7. So yeah, I'd get up around 2, and then it would usually be we'd wake up, we'd go film with the bunker people, or I have a different 100 Days video I can't mention going on. I'd go film with them, or I'd go film with the people in the wilderness. Boom. And then that would take me up to like 6 or 7, and then I just do a little bit of Feastables, all the business stuff, and then have everything done by 9. And then it's just like, all right, the sun's down. This is a video we just finished filming. It was like 5 or 6 days of this, and then I'll show you. We have like a wipeout course. We were lifting like literally giant wipeout courses, 100, 200 feet in the sky, and filming on them. And so now it's dark and it looks pitch black in the background, and and so we're lifting these cranes up and everything, and then going all night. And so that's one day, and then a different day is like. Chandler, what brings you here?
What up, Chandler? How you doing, man?
Are you popping in?
You wanna say hi?
What's the video we filmed before this obstacle course?
Come in,
video?
man. Come in. What's up? How you doing? What up, man? Good to see you, man.
Wait, why are you here?
we actually got a
good?
camera right there. That's yeah.
No, you're good. I'm just not used to seeing you in the thumbnail studio.
Yeah. Well, let me get out.
Yeah, see you later.
But that's crazy. Your schedule is like that jam-packed.
Of
like,
course. Yeah, because it's like, because there is opportunity cost, because every day I'm not filming, that is like, there is no such thing as a perfect video. It can always be better. So every day I don't film is a day I could have filmed and made these videos better. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you almost don't, it's hard. I wouldn't recommend you put yourself in a position like me because it's a lot. Like a normal companies go up like this, the CEO, this one's flipped. Yeah. Everything funnels down. Like I am technically the product. I'm the thing that keeps it spinning. Like, the hundreds of people we employ, it all falls apart if I don't show up. So it's a lot of pressure for people, which is why I don't recommend most people do videos like me, because it requires you to have a lot of team, a lot of money. It's a lot of stuff just resting on your shoulders. But yeah, it's like, essentially, every day off is like kind of an L for the content. It just means the videos are worse.
Do you plan to keep that for the future forever?
I don't see any world where I'm stopping. Well, I mean, what else would I do?
I know, but
I mean, maybe I'll take Sundays off consistently and like play Call of Duty or something. But I'm not at that point yet. I probably have at least another 10 years before I'm like need a break or anything like that.
when a video gets a 10 out of 10, like, what's your mood like? I know, to me, like, almost ruins my day.
I mean, my new video was a 10 out of 10. So the protect the yacht. No, I mean, years ago, yeah, I mean, it would absolutely destroy me. I mean, this was my entire personality, everything that mattered to me. And so, I mean, I would cry. Like it was pretty crazy. But now, I mean, it hurts. It's like someone stabbed me and then I'm just like, take the knife out. What did I do wrong? I go observe it. And then I just don't open my phone. And if you just don't look at Creator Studio, you're like, oh, maybe it's a 5 out of 10. I just won't check. And then you just kind of ignore it. So that's kind of where I'm at. I absorb the pain. I feel the emotions and I'm like, damn, I'm depressed. And then I just funnel that energy into what did I do wrong? And in this case, I was like, never doing a Protect series again. Screw that. People don't like it. That thumbnail's horrible. And then, okay, we got that, move on. You know what I mean? Which is hard, but then you just start working on the next video. And eventually you just get so in the sauce on the next video, you don't even remember.
Wow. I mean, to hear you say that, how's your mental health these days?
Oh, I mean, I just work so much, I don't have time to think about it.
Oh, wow. I mean, just
That's always been my strat. If you like think about, oh, what happens after you die? Do you just see darkness forever, or you start thinking of all these other stuff, and it's like, I'll just keep working. Then you don't even have to worry about it.
wow. What's the most surprising thing in terms of how efficient you are with your schedule? Like I've seen like people prepare the thumbnails before you walk in. Like, are there any other examples of like how you're able to maximize like your day?
I mean, the thing is, I don't view it as maximizing our efficiency. It's just kind of like my life at this point, because like I said, like every second I'm not filming is like there are things that need to be filmed. There's so many things. There's probably 20 shorts I need to film, some like 10 TikToks I need to film. I have 300-day videos going on, and I have, we're always filming main channel videos. So no, it's just kind of like it's just kind of, I don't know, my life. It's not. If I'm like just sitting down doing nothing, I kind of feel weird. I'm like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Like someone's gonna yell at me. I shouldn't be doing this. So if that kind of answers the question, it's kind of just how things have always been,
Yeah.
But it's not like you don't snap your fingers and end up here. This is like a slow progression over many, many years. Like I decided a long time ago that like, yeah, I want to spend as much time as possible filming, and all the other stuff I want to train people up to like be able to do it. I just want to be involved in creative and filming, and ideally that's where most of my time goes. So it's a cognitive decision of like, training up other people to take everything else off, and then like pushing people to push me. Like it's not like I'm telling people push me and make me a better person, help me make better content. Like let's make this the priority, that kind of stuff. But it takes a long time to ramp up to that point.
Yeah, and I was talking to the team. They spend sometimes like 30 hours prepping for one shoot.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, what are these grid lines that we're standing on right now? Like what happens here in terms of setting up the lights and the people?
Yeah, well, yeah, because if we need to shoot 20 or 30 images, we don't want them to have to reset for 15, 20 minutes in between each. That would take an entire day. So these grid lines allow them to put little marks so they can practice the images before, like the lighting and that kind of stuff, so we can kind of just flow from one image to the next. And they don't have to like think about all the lighting. They can just have all the lighting marks pre-marked down.
Yeah, I pulled this because last time we did an interview,
he has
shared
all the
storyboards.
data. Yeah.
This time I was here for a thumbnail shoot, and they were getting everybody there to take an overhead shot. Can you talk about that process to get everything ready before you walk in? Because I've never seen anything like it before.
The problem we have here is the only real linear constraint for the company or for the channel is me, right? Some of our videos we're filming 7 to 10 days. Like some months I'm literally on set 28 days out of 30. Some months, a typical month might be closer to 20. And so it's just hard because it's like if you envision it, if we film 3 videos in a month, then like the first is a $1 versus, right? We'll say like $1 versus $1 million hotel. I have to fly to 7 different hotels all around the world. One of them's in India, right? That's 3 days off the rip right there. So like that's a 10-day filming slot, if not 11 days. And that's if we're really extreme and cutthroat with the time. And then I have to go film another video. But that's, 7 days of filming, but it's also a day of travel to get there and a day of travel to get back, right? Now that's 9 days. So that's 20 days, and that's only 2. And then you tack on a third video there. Or if we have like a long 100-day video, like right now we have people living in a bunker, survive 100 days in a bunker, win $500,000. And like, that's something I have to check in on them. I have to check in on, we have some people in the wilderness. And then I have to, so that would take you up to 22 days. Then I have to film shorts and TikToks and all that other stuff, which isn't crazy hard, but that's still a couple more days. And then I have to work on Feastables. The next thing you know, like I'm like from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed, basically booked for like 28 days straight. And it's like, well, I still have to do thumbnails. But and this one, to me, I'm not as in the weeds on these when they collect people, but we have just a lot of people locally that we usually end up using. And I think we have an app where we just put out like a ping, like, hey, you want to help us with blank? Here's what it'll look like, blah, blah. And people just sign up for it. So they probably did that, got all these people, and then, got the shot.
Yeah, and I thought it was also interesting. Everybody's wearing a neutral color, so that way they can edit in and post, put a jumpsuit on them, and just...
Yeah, I mean, the guys we have now, or the team we have, they're just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, 3 years ago or whatever, I was making these thumbnails in Photoshop, and I mean, I couldn't do half the stuff they do. Like, sometimes I'll just throw out something, I'll be like, it'd be cool if there's a building in the background, but I know that's not possible. And they'd be like, why? We just put it there. I'm like, what do you mean? And then they'll like come back 2 hours later. I'm like, oh, all right. Well, that looks real. Cool.
I saw like that you have like stand-ins. And this is something you tweeted out.
Yeah. So we have this one person every time before we shoot a thumbnail. or before I go and shoot a thumbnail, he does the thumbnail, so I can kind of look at it and make sure I like it. And so we have a lot of images. Like for every one I take, there's probably 100 of him, and then they'll take it. Let me see what it looks like, and I'll be like, that looks good, and then they'll set it up, and I'll come in and crank it out.
It's so impressive, man.
This is awesome. He just is handing me paper. This is like really well prepared. I like it.
Thank you, man. I mean, last time we did our interview, I had 24 hours to prep, and then
That Vid Summit?
yeah. And then this time when you called me, I was like, all right, I got more time. I'm gonna just do everything I can. So
Love it.
We got a ton more where that came from. But I think what's crazy is that you're not only shooting videos. I've heard stories of you reshooting videos.
Of course.
Like the 7 days stranded.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Is it true that so you spent 2 days on the island, and then what happened that you had to reshoot the video?
That's right. I was gonna like throw it up on MrBeast too, like the 2 days.
Yeah.
I forgot I never did that. Someone remind me to do that. Yeah, we went to spend 7 days on a deserted island, and the three things that really make me miserable. Like I can bury myself alive. I can not eat food for weeks. I can do extreme things. I can count to 100,000. But there are 3 things that just make me want to die, and I really struggle with. And it's heat, it's the sun, and it's bugs. Those are like if it's an extreme challenge and it doesn't have those 3 variables, I got it. If you introduce one of those, it's like woo, I don't know. And so yeah, we did 7 days on a deserted island. And it was very hot. There's a lot of sun because I get very paranoid. I don't want to get sunburn and skin damage.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of bugs. And I mean, I was getting just destroyed by bugs. And yeah, on day 2, I woke up and my leg just had like 100 bug bites on it, both of them. I was sunburned. It was like so hot. Like it wasn't supposed to be that hot. It was supposed to be whatever, like 80 degrees. For some reason, it's like 90 degrees. It was miserable. And I was like, I can't do 5 more days of that. And which is that's something I've learned about myself. So now I don't put myself in those kinds of positions anymore because I don't mind like pushing. I actually enjoy pushing myself. Like when I counted to 100,000, obviously I was miserable the last 50 hours, but weirdly I get enjoyment out of like going to the point of misery and then pushing through it and finishing. It's like something I for whatever reason kind of enjoy. But it's just those 3 things. I've noticed anytime it's one of those 3 variables, it turns from enjoyable misery that when I complete, I'm happy to like this. I just want to die. Like I can't do this. Like, and I'll finish it. I'll be like, that was the worst day of my life or week of my life. I can't. So yeah. So anyways, after day 2, we scrapped it, shot the flare, and then but then I'm like on the boat right back. I'm like I lost, and then now I'm like it's messing with my head. I can't. So then we came back, refilmed at a different point, and did the 7 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
For the island, are you sending somebody to scout it out ahead of time? Or if you buy an island or are stranded on an island, like, what's that process?
Well, if we buy an island, that's different than if we spend 7 days on it. So if we buy it, we'll send someone to scout it. The 7 days stranded, I think we send someone out there. Well, usually we'll just call someone local, tell them to go out there and be like, hey, tell us what you see, or whatever. Or we'll send someone out there just to like make sure there's not a trillion snakes everywhere. So yeah, they'll scout it out and be like, yeah, Jimmy won't die. And they'll be like, cool, I'm coming out.
I know you're not only pushing the boundaries, your attention to detail like is next level. I saw this tweet that you put out where you were going and spending 15 hours at Walmarts and Targets, and I'll just read it off. You're like seeing if they had inventory of Feastables in the back and helping them put it out. And then you said the store was doing 0 sales when I visited and 0 product on the shelf. I found these in the back room, and you had to scan them and place them on the shelf, and then the store started selling about bar an hour. Most products don't have velocities like ours, so you have to stock the shelf. So you're at the top of the game, but you're doing things at the bottom of the ladder, like stocking the shelves.
I mean, every single day I try to visit at least a Walmart and Target and just look how the product, because at the end of the day, if you're selling like a CPG consumer packaged good, like, you're just putting it's something on a shelf, and you want to have the same experience as people buying it and make sure it's a good experience. Which so yeah, in that instance, I would go to a lot of stores. Which also, just to be clear, it wasn't the Walmart or Target employees' faults. It was ours. We didn't have enough bars, so we would send bars. They would sell out. And then and then sales would go to 0, and then we'd send more. But like you can't expect it right when it hits for them to go put it out. Yeah. So I would go there right when the delivery would hit, and then put it out. Which obviously they would have done it. It just which we've kind of solved because we're ramping up production of more and more bars. So hopefully that's not a thing anymore. But yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just 101. You should just go see your product out in the wild.
I feel like a lot of execs.
I mean, when I tweeted that, everyone freaked out, but that wasn't what I was trying to get. Was like people were like, "Whoa, you go to the stores," and I wasn't trying to be like, "Oh, look at me." It's just an interesting thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've probably in the last month visited like 60 or 70 Walmarts. Like, and sometimes instead of flying somewhere, I'll drive there so I can hit like 20 Walmarts along the way and look at Feastables in the chocolate aisle. We did that. We had like a layover from DC to North Carolina, and I was just like, screw it. I just like didn't go to it, and like the person I was flying with was like, where'd Jimmy go? I was like, and I texted him. I was like, I'm just gonna rent a car and drive home so I can visit 30 Walmarts. And I was like, you should board the flight though. And then I just drove and hit every Walmart from DC down to North Carolina.
Are you getting stopped at the Walmart? So like, I imagine it's hard for you to go.
Oh, I'm going to tell you, I have a couple strategies to not take photos. Yeah, if I don't do anything and I just like, you know, especially because I'm kind of tall, like, you know, my head is usually above other people's. So what I usually do is, I'll tell you the second best strategy, because I don't want people to know my number one is if I throw a beanie on and glasses, no one recognizes me. It's like, because I never have worn a beanie in a video. It's just they're like, if I get it where it covers up my bangs, so it's like here, and then I throw on shades, it'll be like the amount of photos go down 99%, or maybe like 95. And then there's another. I can take it one step further if I really don't want to take a photo, and yeah, no one will notice me. Because like if I cover up my facial hair too, then yeah, if you can't see my bangs, my facial hair, then it's just like some tall white guy. So no one recognizes me, which is what I usually do.
I think the reason people are probably surprised to see that tweet is because you right now have over 200 employees, right? Like you're worth millions, about to be the biggest YouTube channel. What's another example of you rolling up your sleeves or doing the quote unquote dirty work that you think would surprise people?
Whether I mean, I just went to, you know, this is something we'll talk about later in the year, but you know, I just visited a lot of my farms in Africa, and with something special we've been working on for Feastables, but I don't want to dive deep into that. Give me a couple months to talk more about it, or I mean, everything. I'm involved in every part of everything we do. I mean, obviously, sometimes I'll help with the thumbnails. Sometimes I'll help with the video creative. Sometimes I'll, you know, any job in Feastables. If it's designing the packaging, if it's the artwork, I mean, calling a retailer. I mean, there's nothing I won't do because these are my companies. You know what I mean? So if someone's struggling and needs help, I'll help them. I mean, if someone needs help, you know, figuring out how to clean this floor, I really don't care. You know what I mean?
Jimmy, what's the rough pie chart of how you make money right now between AdSense, sponsorships?
Let me think about it. Yeah, pie chart. So you're just percentage. Yeah. Let's see. For this year, think on it. I haven't done this math. Well, so we're talking revenue, obviously, not profit. Like, but because I don't even know if we'll make money this year, just because we're, you know, in Feastables, we're making so much product content, we don't ever make money. Maybe one day. And view stats, I mean, right now we have no revenue. We just, you know, we've put millions of dollars into building tools, and we don't even have ads on the site. So that's kind of the status of a lot of things. But for revenue, over half of it will be Feastables, a lot of it. I mean, because obviously that's just blowing up, and people are really liking it. Now that we updated the formula, it's crushing. And then outside of that, there's just a lot, because I don't have like I don't bucket it as YouTube. I have it as like ad revenue, brand deals, theoretically merch, this, and so there's so many line items. And last time I looked, but yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna spend over $120 million this year on content, so you can deduce we're probably gonna do close to that much in content revenue and that kind of stuff.
Wow. How do you decide whether a video is going to be a sponsored video and get money from an external brand, or devote it to raising awareness for Feastables?
Well, I have to do brand deals in almost every video. So the only ones I don't are usually like the really hardcore philanthropy ones where I'm like, ooh, this might feel weird. I'm okay with just take a couple $1 million L. But like the Wells and maybe one others. But outside of that, every video has a brand deal on it, because that's the only way I can keep the lights on. Because that $3 million, you know, isn't factoring in like the warehouses or the studios or a lot of other expenses I have. That's just kind of like the cost of the video and like the people working on it. So like if I don't do a brand deal, right, you know, and I spend $3 million, but I have theoretically another $1 million in G&A and stuff like that. So it's like the total cost of everything, like $4 million to get that video out the door, and I don't put a brand deal on it, I'm not making $4 million in ad revenue. So if there is no brand deal, you know, let's say theoretically, a brand pays me $2.5 million, and like, you know, if we don't put a brand deal on it, that's an extra $2.5 million negative on that video. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I have to do them, or we're screwed.
What's the biggest brand deal you've said no to?
I've said no to a lot of big ones. I mean, the obvious easy ones are like, I've had a lot of, you know, those crypto casino.
Yeah.
I mean, like, but even outside of those, there are some that I won't say them because I don't want them to feel weird, but some that just didn't feel like a right fit. And yeah, I mean, I've had people offer tens of millions of dollars, and I'm like, I don't know. Like,
For one video.
No, for
multiple.
for multiple. And
Yeah.
I'm like, do you know what my audience is? I don't. No, for your sanity, I'm gonna say no. Also, that would be weird.
Yeah. What's like an average like brand deal now, like for like the main channel?
I don't want to say it because the problem is it always goes up.
Yeah.
And then the people who hear this will be like, oh, well, Jimmy's overcharging us. We're getting screwed.
Yeah.
But not enough. I need more to be able to afford my videos. So, because my video costs keep going up.
Yeah.
And they go up. They just go, my video costs go up like this and my brand deals go up like that. Just not at the same rate. But I mean, it's obviously more than I ever would have imagined. If you asked me 5 years ago, whatever number I said, it's that times 3. I'm
Yeah.
like, whoa, this is crazy.
Would you sponsor other creators on YouTube with Feastables?
100%. When after this, I'll explain kind of my roadmap the back half of this year.
Yeah.
We're just like right now we're pouring all our money into like setting up certain things that I'm gonna be talking about later this year and with Feastables and just working on like the ethical sourcing and that kind of stuff. And I'm pouring everything I have into it. Once that's up and running, which I'll explain off camera, then yeah, we're gonna be going crazy.
Yeah. Do you have advice for creators who are launching products? More people are doing
Yeah.
that now than ever before. And I thought it was so smart. Like when you launched Feastables, like you gave so many of us like time box, like
Yeah.
like that ticker, like the lock safe, then it opened. It was like you created a moment
Yeah.
out of your product launch. And I was talking to a lot of creators before this to prep question. Jordan Mander wanted to know like how do you like
Yeah.
launch this? Like how do you launch a product if you're a creator with an audience or trying to build towards that?
Yeah, I think a lot of creators are launching products, and for some it makes sense, but I think for a lot it's just building a real business is hard. You know what I mean? Like building up Feastables. Like I'm in the weeds. I mean, this thing is taking an unfathomable amount of my time, an unfathomable amount of money. Like success isn't guaranteed, and even if you have the influence, right, getting people to repeat purchase, come back, innovating the products, right, you can't just get by on your name. I mean, you can for a first buy, but if you want people routinely buying, your product over 5-10 years, and so I think if you want to launch a product, do it. Like, don't listen to me. I mean, who cares? Do whatever you want and what excites you. And I could be wrong, but for a lot of people, I think it's just premature. And honestly, I think they can make way more money doing brand deals than launching a product. And it's like I don't even think it's something they're passionate about, and I don't think they realize just how difficult it is. And I think you're kind of seeing it. Like a lot are launching, but a lot are already, being closed. And so I'm saying it because I'm already seeing a ton of influencers shut down their CPG products and their food and beverage brands that they're doing. And I think way too many are doing it, and they don't understand this stuff's hard. Like it's you don't just like hire 2 people and they just magically make blank and then put it out there. Like you need a team, and you need to like do it as you're competing with brands that have been around for 100 years. So anyways, my answer is I think for most people, they would benefit from just doing brand deals as opposed to starting their own business, because it's just a lot more work than I think they realize.
Yeah.
And I think like the opportunity cost of like starting a business for 2 years, right? A brand, if you're an influencer, and then promoting it, because you have no experience in CPG or any of this stuff, it just kind of flopping, never really making any money. It kind of flatlines and then slowly kind of dies, right? That's 2 years where you could have theoretically been doing, if you're a decent sized creator, like 200K brand deal here, 150K brand deal there, 200K brand deal there. You could have made millions of dollars in brand deals, but instead, and you could have put all that time into your content, because not everyone even has their content fully figured out. So building that CPG business will come at a cost of their content, and they'll get even less views. So you have to factor all that in. And so it's like, there's one world where millions of dollars in brand deals is what I see a lot of creators. You keep growing your socials and you keep pouring all your energy into it, or you start this CPG brand that you're not even that passionate about. It pulls you away from your socials and stuff, and it starts to drop a little bit, and you don't end up making your money because it's actually freaking hard to run a profitable company with competitive cost. Or if you're overcharging, then people are going to try it once and not buy it, and then you come out the other end 2 years with none of that money, and a business that's not even good. So that's kind of my viewpoint.
Yeah, I think more creators need to hear that. Is your goal to sell Feastables ultimately, or keep?
Oh no,
you want to.
Yeah.
You're in for the long haul. You're trying to build it.
Yeah.
And how do you think about like where you promote Feastables in your videos? You're wearing the jumpsuits. Like how much of that planning happens in pre-production in terms of
The promoting? No, I mean it's kind of just whenever. I mean a lot of times it's just like, oh, I want a snack, like hand me a Feastival bar, and then because sometimes we're filming for 15 hours, and so I'm just eating, and I'm like, hey, buy Feastables, anyways, or like I'm also very excited about it because I poured a ton of time and effort into the product. So we have contestants. Usually at some point I'm just like, yo, try this and let me know what you think, and then I'm like, oh, hey, you should just film it, and then it's not as strategic as it might seem. It's usually just us eating chocolate. And then you asked about the jumpsuits, like the stuff we wear. Yeah, that's one thing I've started to experiment with. I guess because the Amazon show, we put a lot of thought into figuring out what we wear throughout it, so it doesn't feel as amateur as a YouTube video. Because there should be a little bit more of a consistent theme. And when I started studying that more, I was like, I wonder what would happen if we started doing that in our videos. So like Ages 1 through 100, I wore a suit throughout the whole thing, and I actually feel like it elevated the tone of the video, and it felt right. Like it didn't feel corporate, it didn't feel non-YouTube, it still felt YouTube-y, and I feel like I made the video better, weirdly enough, because I just fit the vibe. And so that's something we've been experimenting with, is like me wearing clothes that kind of match the vibe of the video, which weirdly enough works. So it's like this is the hard thing, or not hard, this is the interesting thing, is like if you would have brought that up to me 3 years ago, I'd be like, who the actual fuck cares? Like, who cares what I wear in a video? But now I'm like, actually, it can like really make it feel more like a universe when people watch the videos, and like and not break the immersion. And I'm like, this is cool. But I never would have said that 3 years ago. And that's what I love about content creation, is you're always learning and improving. If you have an open mind, you can always get better.
Yeah. Are there other things that you look back at 3 years ago and was like,
everything? I mean, if I watch a video from 3 months ago, I'd shit on it and be like, this is terrible. So I honestly, if I watched my newest video, I would complain a bunch. So
what are some of the more recent complaints you've had about videos you recently put out?
We just have to watch it. I mean, it's just because we're always getting better. Every video we try to improve a bunch of stuff. And so every video we go from a video, I'm going to have exponentially more complaints because we're always improving things. So if we just went 5 videos back, there's at least probably 20 things we've tested and learned since then. And then when I watch it, all I'm going to be able to think about are those 20 things. So I'll be like, oh my gosh. And if we go far enough back, then it's just like screaming Jimmy with no story. And I can't even watch it. I'm like, get that out of my face. I hate that. I mean, at the time, I thought it was good content, but it's just like, I didn't have a mentor. I don't have a filmmaking degree or people who were teaching me. So I started making content when I was 11 because I just like making videos. But no one ever taught me anything about storytelling or anything like that. So, as I'm growing up, I'm making these videos and I'm doing my best with what I know. And obviously that was one of the biggest complaints back in the day, is that, it was just screaming or it was a little too fast paced. I didn't know any better. Like I would slow the scenes down and I'd be like, what do I put in? I don't know how to do this. So it took me a long time, just because I didn't really have anyone teaching me, to like figure out, here's how I can slow scenes down where it's not boring and actually, let things breathe and that kind of stuff. So like, now it's obvious because I just turned 26 and I've studied filmmaking quite a bit, and I've talked with a lot of really smart people. But back when I was 21, I had no idea, and I was just like, oh, fast paced is entertaining. You know what I mean? So
how have you slowed it down without making it boring?
A lot of it is you get them connected to people, so they're like interested in that person. Like if I just threw a random person on the screen and they talked for 12 seconds, you're not going to care. You're literally going to, I mean, the retention will just nosedive. But 42, when we were filming that video, we noticed he was very outgoing and he was very cool. Like he had a deep voice and he talked a lot.
Age 42.
Age 42. Yeah, in the Ages 1 through 100 video, he talked a lot. And so we, made sure to like always have a camera on him because he was really crushing. And so we built him up throughout the video because we had a lot of footage. So I think there's one scene that we didn't really cut for 12 seconds, but because you were invested in Age 42 at that point, you're invested in the person Age 42 was talking, it worked. Like retention was flat because you're like, ooh, I care about this dialogue. But if that was the first time you saw him, you wouldn't care. So it's just kind of stuff like that.
All right, if you're watching the interview this far, then you're gonna love my newsletter, Created News. Just go to created.news, and every week you'll get a breakdown of the best thumbnails on YouTube, why they got you to click. You'll get a breakdown of the best outliers and the best performing videos and why they got you to watch. And you'll get the latest in the news for creators and why it matters to you and how to make sense of it. Just go to created.news, and it's gonna be the best email that you're gonna get in your inbox, I promise. All right, back to the interview.
I mean, the other number that stood out to me is like the fact you're working with 50 editors. Like most creators have a hard time working with one editor and like sharing their style and making sure things are consistent. But your videos, I feel like, still have that same style and that like Beast brand.
I mean, I've been very involved in the editing for many, many years working alongside these people. But yeah, we have some amazing people. And honestly, they're the beauty now is we've gotten to the point where we've got people now who show me new things, and it's like, it's like you said, it's my style, my voice, but a lot of what we're doing now, like I'm learning how to be a better storyteller from my editors. I'm learning new tricks and new things, and like some of the graphics we do in transitions, like I don't know how to do any of that. I'm just like, yo, give me a cool transition, and they whip it off. I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know that was possible. So it's like, yeah, I used to be in that boat too, like them, where it's like, I'm teaching the editors, but I'm so far past that. My team is teaching me stuff, So it's kind of like just working alongside them, which, everyone knows this. You just got to work alongside your editor or editors for years. Eventually they'll pick up your, style and the things that you care about. And then you should just let them free and be like, all right, now you guys keep developing and run with it, or you're just going to be stagnated because, unless you like are studying and like constantly trying to prove it. But if you're like me and you can't just sit there and spend 5 hours a day trying to figure out how to one up it, you need to let them do it. And you just kind of make sure it's on brand and authentic,
Yeah, I found your secret Instagram where you're casting.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not even a secret, but
okay.
I need more people to find this Instagram. I need help. We need more
it
people.
Seems like it's like just being kept on the side. But how do you cast people to be in the videos or even the Amazon show? Because that's a huge opportunity.
Well, I mean, for ages 1 through 100, it's, we're just looking through the database of all the people, which that one's really hard. Like, people don't even understand. You know how hard it is to find 100 people in 100 different ages in one spot all at the same time? Like, especially in Greenville. It's not like this is LA.
Oh, you're
like,
not flying them in. It's all local.
We try to find local people,
Yeah.
especially just because we like to, we have people quarantine beforehand, so we don't want them to fly in, so they can quarantine and then they come in and we keep them separate and that kind of stuff. But yeah, for that video, it's like sometimes you'll find all the 70s, but 75, there's just no 75-year-old. And like you find one and he's like, I don't want to be in a video. And it's like, fuck. And then we have to hunt and hunt and hunt, and then you find another one and they're like, no. And then eventually, and you have to do that for all ages, but for other videos, it's just like, because there's a lot of people in the database we have, but not a lot of people can have the ability to take off work for a week. If a video needs to be a week. So it's like, can you realistically film this video for a week? We'll pay you, but still you have a job and I don't want you to get fired, and then, so it's all these little parameters. And so, yeah, we need more people in the database because usually we don't have enough people to fit it, even though we have thousands of people in our data set.
How much is somebody getting paid if they don't win the prize money?
It just kind of depends, right? Like if they're just there for 5 minutes, I don't know, maybe we give them $100. But if they're there for a couple of days, we'll usually give them a little bit more money. And a lot of people who go deeper in the challenges, like ages 1 through 100, the 4 people that didn't win, we gave them $10,000, right? Because it would feel weird for them to have gone that long and then get nothing. So. Yeah.
Do you also ask them to do like a video test or anything? Like, because having just the age is one part of it, but you want to make sure that you at least have characters on set.
Yeah, that's where I think that's what we're doing for the Amazon show. I don't know if we do that for everyone who just supplies for casting, but yeah, for the Amazon show, which since this is going up in the short term, when this first goes up, you can, just throw it in the description. If you want to be in our Amazon show, just apply. We're going to need you for a long time, especially if you go the distance. We're going to need like 2 months. So, but yeah, if you want to compete in our show for $5 million and hang out with us for a couple months, it's down there.
Will they compete against celebrities? Because I heard you're also going to have them as contestants.
I can't say anything. Okay. Because I need all of them walking in knowing nothing. Because these are huge. Like people could like Google image some of the sets we're building and like get intel or things like. It's disgusting how big this stuff is.
How much are you using AI in your content creation process and becoming more efficient?
Yeah, we found some pretty interesting ways to implement it. Not as obvious as you'd think. But one interesting thing is like, because we have so much footage for these videos, there's, I don't even know the name of the tool, but there's this one AI tool where I can type something in and it'll tell me anytime that word's said, right? So if I'm like, oh, we didn't mention Feastables in this video, you can type in Feastables and it'll tell you anytime it was said in that 1,000 hours of content. It'll pull up the clips for you. So then we can be like, cool. Or 42, hey, we want another shot of 42 talking to like build his character. We can just, look at 42's cam, type in something, and it'll pull up those scenes. So that was pretty helpful. Obviously, everything we're doing in view stats, the thumbnail search, that kind of stuff is very helpful, which is why we're rolling it out. I'd say those are the biggest ones. And then, like everyone, I just occasionally type things in the chat GPT for inspiration. But right now, these are good, but everything's rapidly improving so much that 10 years, or not even 10, like 3 to 5 years from now, I wouldn't be surprised if people are using AI voices in the video. You're just like, you edit a scene and then you're like, here, AI, just give me 10 different ways this scene could be better, and like all this other stuff.
Yeah. Do you ever think there'll be a day where you don't show up on set and you?
Oh
can-
no, I mean, I think like there'll be a point, kind of like with the animation. Like I had that same thought because people always bring it up to me, but then I go look at animation and people thought the same thing. Like, oh, animation or CG, like, you know, why do we need real life superheroes when we have these animated superheroes and that kind of stuff? But look, we still watch them. I think it'll be the same case here.
Yeah.
Even if it is relatively indistinguishable, there is something cool about it being authentic that people still like.
Or still, you need motion capture suits. Like Avatar, they're still performing it, and then they put the CG on top of it. So, to bring things home, I wanted to rewind back to 2018.
Yep.
When
Oh boy.
PewDiePie was the most subscribed to channel, around 70 million subscribers. T-Series was gaining on them.
Yeah.
And you ran this entire campaign to, you know, protect.
Wow, that was 2018.
Yeah.
6 years ago.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's wild.
You know, you ran that campaign, like keeping PewDiePie at the top spot. T-Series eventually surpassed them.
Yeah.
Here we are, full circle.
I know.
You're about to surpass T-Series. First of all, do you have a message for T-Series if they're watching right now?
Do I have a message for them?
Yeah.
Oh boy. You know, it's a little ironic, isn't it? 6 years later, here we are back again. No, I mean, one thing I want to make very clear is, like, you know, before, I think it kind of got a little like, you know, this country versus that country, and I don't think Felix took it there, but some people even got a little racist with the subword before. So I'm very cognizant of it, which is why I'm not leaning into it too hard. Like, I'll probably do a short and talk about it here and there, but it's like, this isn't, to me, I have a huge fan base in India. So this isn't India versus America. Yeah. It's not. It's just, I just want to be the most subscribed to channel. And I do think it is a little, yes, I have a lot of people helping me, but at the end of the day, I started this channel. I've been doing it for 14 years. I live and breathe this. I am the face in it, and I am a creator. You know, YouTube runs in my freaking blood. You know what I mean? And so I do think there's a little bit of symbolism that it's nice that, like, a creator, you know, a homeborn YouTube creator is the most subscribed to channel, even though I know some people might not see it that way. I think that's cool. Not knocking on them, but obviously they are a corporation with probably 1,000 times more employees than me, or something crazy. But yeah, we got to, like, draw the lines in the sand. I need to make it clear. I love India. I have fans in India. You guys are awesome. It has nothing to do with that. 'Cause people will make it that. Like, a lot of idiots will just start tweeting, India sucks. Go crush them, Jimmy. And I'm like, okay. Just so you know, it's where a lot of my audience is, but okay.
If you had to record a Hi Me in 10 years,
Oh,
I know
boy.
you've done that a lot before.
The Hi Me in 10 years goes up in 15 months.
Wow.
10 years, yeah.
Wow. No.
I know I should have. I had that thought like a year ago. I kind of regret it. I should have done more. Should have been like like at 100 million subscribers. I should have done Hi Me in 10 years.
Yeah.
That was a giant L.
You should do one when you pass T-Series.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be cool.
That's a landmark. Right
Yeah.
now.
No, well,
Yeah, I know you got to do it.
I gotta do
but
it in camera, but
yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah. Or
That
maybe,
would-
maybe a teaser of if you were gonna say something like "Hi Me in 10 years."
Yeah. But see, the beauty of Hi Me in 10 years was the innocence, right?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
it's like,
Yes.
I had 8,000 subscribers or less, and I'm like, yeah, I hope I make it. I really hope. But now, you know, if I did Hi Me in 10 years, I'd be like, I hope I have 1 billion subscribers. And it's like, well, that's not, you know, no one would be like crazy shocked that ended up happening. But back then, it made no sense. And yeah, Hi Me in 10 years goes up in 15 years. I think in that video, I said, I hope I have 1 million subscribers. If I like think back to when I filmed it.
The video that's been going
8.5
months.
years ago.
Yeah.
I think, I don't remember. I haven't watched it in a long time, but I think when I filmed it, I was like, I really hope in 10 years I have 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
That video's going to go off. Holy crap.
Do you hope that you'll have a family in 10 years?
From now?
Yeah.
Well, I have a girlfriend,
Yeah.
and I have a dog.
Yeah.
So I kind of have a little
Yeah.
one. Yeah, of course. At some point, it's kind of funny. You know, one of the interesting things about doing podcasts as you grow up is you say a lot of stupid things, and like